Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have this beautiful recipe for you, this baked tilapia. I got this recipe from cooktoria.com and this is one of the easiest weeknight meals I've ever had to make. 10 minutes of prep time, about 20 to 30 minutes of cook time. So you're seeing about roughly a half an hour to 40 minutes total of cook time, including these beautiful brown sugar glazed carrots that I made with my own special recipe. This recipe was very easy. It's definitely one of those things you can make right after work, for lunch tomorrow, or right after school, or you can add it into your meal prepping. You're definitely gonna love this, so let's get right into the video. Welcome to the space. I got this fish from my local grocery store. I bought about 3 pounds of fish, which gave me roughly, I want to say about 6 pieces of tilapia. I could be wrong, don't judge me my math. And this is wild tilapia, not farm raised. So that's the one that I get, but farm raised is just $5. It's within your price point. You can definitely go and get that. Today I'm cooking about 2 to 3 pieces because I want some for dinner, but I also want some for lunch the next day. Next, we have our breadcrumbs. I'm using this brand, and I also have a brand that I got from Trader Joe's. Moving on to our seasonings. So I have a few seasonings that I'm going to use that differ from the recipe. Again, my kind of style is that I take the recipe and I turn it around and make it my own. So I'm using herb de Provence, which is just a mixture of different herbs. Within it includes basil and oregano and different types of things. I also have my lemon pepper garlic sauce, which I feel like is going to enhance this because I think lemon and fish and pepper and garlic, they all go together. So I feel like this will add a nice little touch to it. Then we also have one of my favorite brands of seasoning, which is our bone sucking. If you've watched me long enough, you know I love my bone sucking sauce, and they also have a bone sucking seasoning. So I'm using seafood and then also the seasoning rub, and these two just work great. They encompass a bunch of different seasonings together. And then we also have my staple all-purpose seasoning, and then I'm using a little bit of this signature season blend just to add an extra kick in my fish. And then we also have our carrots, fresh parsley, and garlic. And the reason why I'm using fresh parsley and garlic is I think fresh herbs add a different flavor than dried herbs. Now, I know you're saying, well girl, you just use about 6 different bottles of dried herbs, but I really want the parsley, which is a main component of this dish, to really stand out and really, you know, be singled out within the dish. So that's why I'm using fresh parsley and fresh garlic. So get your big foil pan, make sure it is sprayed with non-stick spray, and we are going to put our tilapia in the pan before we make the breadcrumbs mixture. And now we're gonna season. So I'm getting my all-purpose and I'm being a little heavy-handed. Again, season to your preference. I'm seasoning front and back, and it's because I'm not adding any salt to this, so I really need to make sure that my fish is well seasoned and has flavor. I'm not adding any salt, I'm not adding any black pepper or anything like that, so I have to make sure that my fish gets well coated with all these bushes, okay? So we're just doing front and back with every seasoning that I previously mentioned, and then once that's done, we are going to make the breadcrumbs mixture. And now what you want to make sure you do is you make sure that you really rub in the seasoning in your fish. So I'm rubbing in front and back, just making sure that every hole, every crevice, every area of the tilapia is well seasoned and well coated. And I'm doing this before I add the breadcrumb mixture because the breadcrumb mixture is going to go on top and I won't have an opportunity to really marinate my fish afterwards. So I'm doing it now, prepping it and having it sit there while I'm at breadcrumb mixture. we're going to get our parsley, and I am just pulling some of the parsley leaves off the stem, and I'm going to roll it together, and then I'm going to chop it up fairly roughly, not extremely fine. I'm not a professional chopper, so don't Gordon Ramsay me and tell me how you ain't using the knife right. This is home cooking, all right? This is a real kitchen. This ain't a chef of America. So as you see me cut the way you know how to cut, and I will cut the way I know how to cut, okay? And then I'm going to get my garlic, and I'm just crushing it. I'm taking the knife, and I am pressing my palm against the knife to get the garlic clove out of its trash. Gonna peel that and then give that also a rough chop. You can make this extremely minced or roughly minced, or you can keep it whole, whatever you like. I give mine a rough mince. It's not extremely minced, but it's just fine enough where I can have bite-sized pieces. Okay, and then to complete the mixture, what we're gonna do is we are going to get some melted butter, and then we are going to add our breadcrumbs to the melted butter and begin to assemble our breadcrumbs mixture. After that, we're gonna add in our garlic and our parsley, and then we are gonna stir this all together, also adding a little drizzle of olive oil to the mixture. We are going to mix this until this is well combined, until you get that nice crumbly flavor and the butter has kind of marinated with the breadcrumbs and given this nice fine texture, but almost as if you're making like a cookie crumble. That's what you want to kind of get. And then we're going to go to our pan, and we are going to begin to add our breadcrumbs mixture on top. And what we're doing here is we're getting a spoon, and as I add it on top of my fish, I'm going to press it down with the back end of my spoon, really making sure that every single area of this fish is covered. And while you're doing this, you want to make sure, if you haven't done so already, make sure you have your oven preheated. I personally have my oven preheated to 450 because I want to kind of speed up the cooking time. But if you are afraid it's going to burn your fish, or because it might burn, you know, the edges around it, you can definitely have it at 425, 400, wherever you feel comfortable. But you want to make sure you do that first thing. I forgot to mention that in the beginning, but just reminding you now, just make sure that you have your oven preheated at 450, 400, or 425, so that once you've completed your entire breadcrumb mixture on top of your fish, you can just pop that bad boy into the oven and get it cooking right away. Now that our fish is in the oven and it's cooking away, we have to have a side, okay? So what I'm doing is I'm using fresh carrots, and I'm just giving it a nice cut, doing a slant cut here on my carrots, and I use about 3 to 4 pieces of carrots. I'm not really sure, but I'm gonna light my fire. I'm gonna get a nice pot. I'm gonna add about 2 spoonfuls of butter. Then I'm gonna add a little bit of the all-purpose seasoning because that's the only bushes I'm gonna use. Then I'm also gonna add some brown sugar, about 2 spoonfuls. Now this again is depending on how sweet you want this to be. I didn't want it that sweet, so I just added that, and I just added about 2 spoonfuls in there. And then we're also gonna add a little bit of olive oil to give it that nice shine and glisten. And then I'm gonna add some granulated garlic. I didn't want to add fresh garlic. I didn't want the strong potency, so I'm going to add granulated garlic and mix that all together until the butter has melted and everything is well combined. And then I'm going to add some water in there. And the reason why I'm adding water is because I know the butter is going to help soften the carrots, but I also want the water to steam the carrots at the same time. So I'm putting the carrots in there, wait till it comes to a boil, turn it down, and then also add my cover so they can really cook and steam in there. And this is what it looks like when it's basically cooked. And so how you know it's cooked is when you stick your fork in your carrots. If the fork comes out easily, that means your carrots are tender. If not, that means it needs a little bit more time. And so these are basically complete, and I am satisfied with how they look. And now look at our beautiful fish. You see I had it at 450 so the edges burned. That's okay with me because I love burnt pieces. But this is how your tilapia should look, and then this is how your carrot should look at the end. Like I said, guys, this is a beautiful weeknight meal. I definitely made this during the week for dinner, and then I took the rest for lunch tomorrow. So if you're one of those people who love to cook but also don't have time in the morning to make something, and you want to do something that's quick and easy and not not that expensive. This baked tilapia with my brown sugar glazed carrots are the way to go. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and please hit that subscribe button and subscribe to Uniquely Stace. So follow my blog, uniquelystace.com. I'll leave all the information on this beautiful screen, as well as the description bar down below. Also, the recipe to Cooktoria is down there, as well as my Pinterest. So follow, stay up with the Uniquely Stace fam, and stay tuned for more videos and beautiful content coming your way. Bye guys.